This is going to be a 2-episode journey. We're going to first talk about the postpartum center. Oops.
Keep going.
This is going to be a 2-episode journey. We're going to first talk about the hospital visit and the birth, and then we're going to talk in the next episode about the postpartum journey. Yeah, so we moved into the postpartum. Obviously, I said 1 day early, but what struck me as amazing was that the nurses were so amazing. So even when right when I got in and I was having trouble, walking around and getting on and off bed, they actually would like hold me to get me up on and off the bed. They really, really, make it very important that you don't get off the bed if you don't need to. They say all you got to do is use that phone, you dial the customer service or you dial the nurses, they'll take care of anything and everything for you. And they really, really do. So that definitely struck me as something really amazing. And secondly, what was the most comforting thing was that the food is amazing. The food at this postpartum center is so fresh. Like, there's never a time when I feel like the food has some sort of like refrigerator aftertaste or something tastes off or there's like a rotten never. The food never had any bad smells or anything. Like, it always tasted fresh, and every single dish always tasted fresh. And I was actually very, very surprised because they give you so much food. First of all, you get a rice dish, a veggie, and then a big bowl of soup, and then 2 different types of meat. Whether it's fish or pork or, chicken. They just give you really, really good portion size. They give you 4 teas a day. So in the morning, they give you breastfeeding tea, and that stuff really works. I'm so surprised that I was already, by the 3rd day at the postpartum center. That's like about a week and 2 days after I gave birth to the baby. I was already like spraying milk out, which I find is like, it took a very long time for me to get to that stage for the first baby. And it might definitely also be because it is my second baby, but I think it really was a different experience. And then the other teas, they're quite delicious. They're all caffeine-free, natural herbal teas, and they don't have that like overly strong Chinese medicine taste, which a lot of postpartum centers have. When they give you tea, it's like a lot of really like herbal, borderline bitter type of tasting teas that they give you. This postpartum center doesn't give you those kind of teas. There might be some, a little bit of Chinese medicine in it, but it's not like really strong, like overly strong, so that you don't really want to eat it or drink it. Same with the soups. They always put some sort of a Chinese medicine or some herb in it that like just makes you not want to drink it. But here the soups were not, that they're fresh or like, nice pure chicken soup, pork bone soup, like everything tasted great. And I was really actually shocked because a lot of postpartum centers also put in like tons of ginger and everything. It's either ginger, goji berries, and herbal Chinese medicine. Those are like the 3 things I think that most postpartum centers will put into your food. And then it makes you not want to eat it, especially when you're eating it every single day. And of course, it's 3 meals plus 2 snacks. 3 meals plus 3 snacks a day. And surprisingly, I ate everything. Like, I ate all 3 snacks, I ate all 3 meals, I drank all the teas. And I guess when you're breastfeeding, you're just producing so much milk, it just takes up so much energy, which is why I say that breastfeeding is definitely one of the biggest reasons that I can get back into shape. Because your body is just doing so much to make that milk, you know? And I was just surprised at the amount of food that I was eating. And it was all very healthy. You know, some of the snacks will have, you know, fruits. They have, you know, like maybe red bean soup or something like that. And then at nighttime, which I didn't think that I would eat actually, they actually give you an entire soup. So it's gonna be like one of those soups you eat as a meal, you know, like a pork bone soup or a chicken soup at like 8 p.m. at night. So that's your like nighttime snack. And surprisingly, I would still eat it at 8 p.m. at night. I'd still eat that snack. So yeah, they definitely give you enough food, and that was really, really amazing. So then the third thing that I really liked about this postpartum center is that the nurses are so knowledgeable and so helpful, and they will go out of their way to help you. And when I mean out of their way, it's just that I can call for anything, almost anything, okay? I mean, they're not going to go out to 7-Eleven for you or something, but you can call for almost anything. So if I'm feeling just a little bit of pain, they'll just jump right up to your room and say, "What's wrong? What do you need?" You know? And even if it's something like really small, they'll go out of their way to help you. So even when Kali's in her room, she's got a bug bite. They'll come up and they'll actually bring, like, you know, bug bite anti-itch cream and help me apply it for my big daughter, you know, my older daughter. Whereas, you know, this postpartum center is for the newborns, but then they'll still help you out. It's amazing. And they're so kid friendly in that all the staff, they also play with Kali as well. So when she's in the lobby, you know, they'll make an effort to make sure she feels at home, that, you know, they'll like play with her, they'll give her a ball, they'll give her some toys or whatever to play with. They also have a really nice playroom. It has like a tent, and it has all sorts of different types of, you know, blocks, stuffed animals. Even has a table where you actually can draw on it with markers, and then actually you can wipe it off, which is amazing. I mean, I pretty much want to buy everything in that playroom because Kali enjoyed being there so much. So I really enjoyed the fact that this was a very kid-friendly postpartum center. And that's really a big deal because when you have a new baby in your family, really what's important is that you let your older child know that she's still very, very important. And if you can do it right, then the two children will be in harmony and they'll be best friends for the rest of their lives. Right? I mean, I think that's something that really, I think, is a whole nother topic in itself. How do you make the older child feel comfortable when there's a new child coming? We did give Kali a gift from Sarita, and we just made a big effort to make Kali feel very important in you know, helping Sasa into the world and helping Sasa with anything that she might need. And she's actually very proud that she has a little sister now. She goes to her class and says, "Oh, Sasa, 我的妹妹." 妹妹 means younger sister. She'll tell everyone, "Oh, this is my younger sister." So that was really nice. That's a really nice aspect, that they really make the older child feel at home. I really love the fact that they have their in-house photographer and studio for the newborns, because when you're a newborn, there's only a very small amount of time that you can take these kind of photos, and most people won't want to leave their postpartum center with their newborn to go take professional photos. It's very difficult. I mean, especially since postpartum centers are very strict about the visitors that you have. The visitors, they can only see the baby through a glass. They can only be in the lobby. They can't come up to your room. So there's no other way you could actually have a newborn photo shoot. And the newborn photo shoot only looks really good when it's within that first month. So they have a newborn photo shoot for baby Sarita, and they do your passport photos, which came out super cute. And I thought that their service was amazing. They really are so professional about it. They really know how to get the baby to pose in a certain way, how to just prop them the right way, and how to get them to sleep properly, or to make their lips properly. Even if their tongue is sticking out, they're like, okay, this photo's not good. Her tongue's sticking out. Let's fix her tongue in the right position. They know exactly like what they're doing. So I thought that was amazing. And then another thing that they have is really cool classes. So we made a bunch of handmade items. One was a little tote bag. I made it for Kali. It's got a little girl on it holding a little cat, so makes her feel a little bit like a big girl. And then I also made a scented fragrant soap with flowers in it. They stuck flowers in it. It was really fun. And they also have tons of classes about how to take care of your baby, or adjusting to your home, or how to organize your home when you get back, Chinese medicine, all sorts of really good information. And then another thing is that I really like how the nurses, they actually have a checklist. They have a checklist on things that they need to talk to you about. So within the 3 or 4 weeks that you're in the postpartum center, every week they have a task of telling you what certain things. So the first week they ask you about your mental health. They ask you about your home situation. They ask you if you're sad, or they ask you if you feel, what do you do if you feel sad, or do you have someone to talk to at home? How do you make decisions about the baby? Just sort of things just to make sure that everything is okay, and to see if they can help in any way, in terms of your mental health or home situation. That's the first week. And then the second week they'll ask you, do you know about breastfeeding? Do you know the proper way to breastfeed your baby? Do you know that you have to breastfeed your baby every 4 hours? Do you know how much? Do you know how do you know if your baby is eating enough? Do you know how many diapers they should have a day? Do you know about how to look at if the baby's poo is the right color? They teach you pretty much everything you need to know to make sure that your newborn is safe. They also give you a class about how to bathe your newborn. They'll show you how to do it, and then they'll make you do it, in front of them, to make sure that you pretty much pass the test. So it's good. They also hold you accountable to make sure you're doing everything right. And then they also make sure that so if you're using milk powder, or you don't have enough milk, or you're mixing the two or whatever, they tell you how to mix the baby powder, the milk powder, to make sure you're doing it correctly. They just give you pretty much all the tools you need to go home without feeling completely lost after you've had a baby. So I love the support that they give. I feel like all the nurses and the staff at England is very professional. Every week, the pediatrician will come to England to check on your baby. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the doctor will check on your baby, and they'll actually call you. You still don't have to get off the bed. It's actually quite funny. They'll call you and they'll be like, "Oh, I saw your baby, and your baby is fine. Maybe you need to check on, whatever it is, that if there's any problems with the baby, they'll tell you about it." And then on Wednesdays, the gynecologist will come to your room and check to make sure that you're okay. Are you still in pain? Have you changed your medicine, etc., etc.? So you are definitely in good hands. You have 2 doctor visits a week, for your baby and 1 doctor visit for yourself at the postpartum center. I thought that was amazing. One of the big things about England is that they take a lot of care in the safety and sanitation. So first of all, I like that it's its own building. It's a completely standalone building. So there's no other businesses in that building. And then when you go in, obviously, like everywhere else, you have to get your temperature taken and you have to sanitize your hands. So if you're coming from outside and you want to go up to the room, you have to step into this sort of wind room. It's almost like the kind of room that you see on TV where the scientists go in before they go into a clean room. So they go in there, it blows all these vents. They blow your hair, your clothes, your legs, your feet, everything. And then they vacuum all the air out from the bottom. So it comes from all different directions and you just get blasted with the wind for 20 seconds. And then after that, then you have to clean your hands and then you have to change your shoes. You leave your shoes downstairs before you step into the inside. And then you have to use their specific slippers. And then after that, once you go into your room, they actually gift you with these very cute blue fuzzy slippers, one for your husband and one for yourself. And I know Vince loved them. And they're fuzzy and they're very cute and they're very, very comfortable. And that's just for your room specifically. So you have one to go from the elevator to your room and one to go just inside your room. Okay, so if that's not clean enough, they also UV sanitize your room and they change up all the sheets once a week. And then if you have the older child come into the room and then after the older child leaves, they put the UV sanitizer in your room for 30 minutes to completely sanitize the room before you bring the newborn back into your room. And then on top of that, they have an air purifier in all the hallways and then also inside the playroom. They also have an air purifier as well as they sanitize the playroom every single day. So that being said, in the newborn nursery, they also sanitize the room for 1 hour every day. So every day at 8 p.m., they will have your baby go back up to the room with mom and dad, and then they're gonna sanitize the whole nursery. And then what's kind of amazing about this is that I thought this was mandatory, but sometimes I'm just not there or just happen to be away. They're like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it." And so sometimes they'll still actually let you let the newborn be with the nurses as well. So in that sense, I thought some of the mandatory rules, they kind of they're just so accommodating. They're just so accommodating in every aspect. And then of course, what is a postpartum center for? A postpartum center is for the mom to relax, for the mom to get enough sleep before she goes home and has to take care of your little baby. And so what does she need? Spa package. Thank goodness for the spa package. I went ahead and did a ginger shampoo treatment. So they put ginger, like I don't even know how much, maybe about half a pound of ginger into a boiling water, and they take the water and then they pour it onto your hair, and so it'll make your head feel hot for like the next hour. It's very comfortable. And then after that, they even like used a curling iron and like gave me curls in my hair like I just went to the salon, which I basically did. It was quite amazing. And so they have hair treatment, and then they also have spa treatment. So they have a massage treatment. They even have earwax candling. So I think it's a little bit different than earwax candling, but it's very similar in the aspect that they put something into your ear that's hollow, and then they light the end of it and they put on a fire, and it gets out all the toxins through your ears. and which is also really comfortable. And they also have facial. Basically, they even have you can get your eyelashes done in the postpartum center, which I thought was really, really funny. Like they really pretty much have everything and anything that you need. Also, another one of my favorites. I feel like I said everything is my favorite because really everything is. Everything that all the services that they have are amazing. They take your baby for swimming. So, Sasa got to go swimming twice. So they put a little inflatable thing on the neck, and then they can swim inside a pool. It's so cute. I mean, actually, she pretty much slept through the whole thing. But then what's really funny is that the nurses, they will change her outfit like maybe 5 times during the swimming. So she's swimming with like cat ears, or she's swimming with like a cute little bow, and then swimming with a sign on her head that says "I'm cute." It's just so adorable. So we have wonderful swimming pictures for a little baby, and yeah, I highly recommend going to England for doing your postpartum care. They're just, I think one of the big things is the people. Like every single nurse, they just go over and above. And if you want to go into a postpartum center and absolutely do nothing and lie in bed the entire time except for just feeding your baby, you can totally do that there. You do not even have to change a single diaper. You can say, "Oh, she pooped. Hi, nurses, she pooped. Can you take the baby?" They'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
Talking about over and above, we've already checked out of the postpartum center, but you even called them last night.
Oh, so even over and above, even after I left the postpartum center last night, Sasa was crying. I didn't know what to do. As I was saying, she's a perfect baby, but then all of a sudden last night we didn't know why she kept crying. And so I actually called the postpartum center just as if I was there. And I was like, "Nurses, I don't know what to do. Sasa's crying and I'm trying to feed her, but she won't feed. And then this and that." And they gave me several options on what to do. If you have a problem, then why don't you just, you can swaddle her, or you can, help with a pacifier, or you can feed her, you can bottle feed her. They just gave me so many options, and it really helped me because after that call, finally she went to sleep. So they're just so amazing. I literally just called in. I'm not even living there anymore.
Yeah, so that was really cool. The whole postpartum experience this time around was probably unforgettable and really, really pleasant. And for me, as a dad, that place was just really friendly, really accommodating for me. I needed to go in and out because of work, because of stuff that I had to do, and also because I had to balance between Kali and Sasa, and it was so accommodating. They really helped out. Especially they welcomed the older kid, and made sure that she's comfortable. Of course. There were a lot of restrictions because a lot of restrictions were because of the COVID protocol. That's cool. We totally understand and we abided by them. But other than that, they made sure that she had a chance to be there with her sister, to at least be even in the same room and in the same bed, and actually spend the night, several nights with us.
Yes. The only rule that they have is really that once the older sibling leaves, the room has to be UV sanitized, and then the little baby is not allowed to go into the nursery for 48 hours. And basically, it just would prevent you from having guests to come see the baby.
Yeah.
But
the
otherwise,
the one thing we really wanted is to make sure that Kali is okay with having a newborn, to kind of take away, a lot of the attention.
Right.
And we didn't want her to feel bad or feel neglected.
Exactly.
And we also want her to love her sister. And so we wanted to nurture that. It's for toddlers, their emotional growth is probably the most important,
Yes.
rather than their academic growth, right? So we want to make sure that her emotional growth is intact. It's progressive. So
And she enjoyed the center a lot.
Yeah, she enjoyed it a lot.
She didn't want to go home.
That center was basically made not just for moms and newborns, but also for the rest of the family. Yeah, we stayed in the floor that had all the family staying there. So there's this one floor that they allocate for families, so the kids can stay with their families. And so then they had the playroom, which is great. I think the exercise room in that place was meant more for the dads than the moms. Because obviously a lot of moms are not going to go straight to the gym after pregnancy, after giving birth. But they had a nice exercise room that had, they basically had a elliptical machine, treadmill, and a spin cycle. And it was more for dads, I think. I got to use it. And Kylie had fun in the playroom. Yeah. So to me, it was a great experience. And one last but very important thing is they have great, great coffee.
Oh, yeah. He loved the coffee beans there. He was smelling them. I feel like he wanted to smuggle some beans out, but we didn't do that.
Yeah,
for the record.
Great brewed coffee. They have a great coffee brewer in there, and I must have gotten coffee 10 times a day.
Yes, this is true. You guys think it's an exaggeration, but it's not. He does that. Yeah.
So what do you think so far with everything? Are you just happy to be home?
I'm happy. I'm not. I wouldn't mind staying. I wouldn't mind staying for longer, but I am happy to be home, to be reunited, having the two sisters be able to hang out together. That's right, Kaka. You and Saza get to hang out together.
Yeah, and Kali here, she really loves her sister. She can't stop kissing her. Non-stop kisses.
Yes, which is amazing. So I think that just having the family all together is amazing. Even though we could also be together in the postpartum center, but it's not the same when you're home, Home is where the heart is. But yeah, definitely, if I had to do round 2, I might stay longer. I mean, round 3. Wait, is that allowed to even talk about that? Let's not talk about that.
Cut.
Cut. Oh.
I didn't mean cut in a movie sense, but cut in a... Never mind.
Really?
No, just kidding.
I don't know. I mean, Vince is Filipino. They're notorious for having many kids. I have to say. But anyways.
Bye.
Yeah, we have some discussing to do.